time, I'd like to invite Steve Vickroy. Steve Vickroy is a nephew of Ron, and he's associate pastor of the West Hills Community Church. Steve?
Just want to make a comment about that song, The Goodness of God. And, the goodness of God for each one of us here is that God left his home in heaven and was born in a barn and basically gave away his life to reconcile you and I back to our Heavenly Father, the one who created each one of us in his image. So the goodness of God is that he came to reconcile you and I back to our Creator, to our Heavenly Father, and to make us right with him again. And we all have a time here on this earth where we have to make a decision with who Jesus Christ is. And I can say with assurance that my uncle Ron has placed his faith in Jesus Christ. And we know that he is absent from the body, but present with the Lord. So thankful for that. And that is the hope that we share, as Pastor Peter said. I'm going to read from God's Word. And it's Psalm 40. And this psalm is written by David, King David. And this was a prayer that he had wrote to God as he was in his distress. And this is what he says in Psalm 40, verse 1. He says, I waited patiently for the Lord, and he turned to me and he heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and the mire. He set my feet on a rock, and he gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth and a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, who does not look to the proud, to those who turn aside to false gods. I desire to do your will, my God. Your law is within my heart. Let's pray. Father, thank you that you love each one of us here. And Lord, I thank you that my Uncle Ron is with you right now. And Lord, it's a loss for us here on this earth. And I pray for my Aunt Donna and Lord and Brett and Stacy and grandkids, and Lord, my dad and Rick and Dave and Diane. And Lord, I just I pray for your comfort. I pray for your peace. And I thank you that you love each one of us. And Lord, thank you for the hope that you give us through Jesus Christ. And Lord, may you be honored through this service. God, may Jesus, may you be seen and heard. And it's in Christ's name we pray. Amen. At this time, I'd like to introduce Major General Tom Jones, the brother-in-law of Uncle Ron.
Can everybody hear me in the back? I'm a kind of a short guy. I don't want to step behind that thing to be a little shorter. I came to celebrate Ron. When I would visit Ron, my mission statement was, make Ron smile and laugh. And I did right to the last, didn't I, Diane? Right to the last, now you done. Mm-hmm. And so when you celebrate somebody, we really want to talk about 3 or 4 different things. The energy a person gives leads to the inspiration they provide, the impact they make, and the legacy they leave. The legacy he left is really quite profound. As we saw yesterday, people kept flooding in for hours. I had the privilege of meeting Ron many years ago. I married into a family. It's better to be lucky than good. And I married into a family with Ron and a lot of great people. I give a lot of speeches. This one's probably the most important of what we have done. Because it's important to me, because you're important to me. All of you guys. In your life, you have 3 or 4 different things that we all going to have. We're all going to have defining moments. We're all going to have the dash, and we're all going to have something called, we're either going to be judged to be a giver or taker at the end. I'm not going to get into Peter's domain and talk about the sheep and the goats, all I could, on Matthew 25, because we're all going to be judged that way, but we're all either givers or takers in life. When I think of Ron, I think about all he's given. But let me tell you this now, I got to introduce Ron many times when Ron was supporting us for Simplify Odyssey. And here's how I introduce Ron. Ron wanted to be in the military, but he only got in the Air Force. And then I would say, Ron wanted to be a professional golfer, but he wasn't good enough, so he became a professor, so he had all the time off, so he could golf all the time. But then I would say this. I would say Ron flew CSAR missions for the Air Force. Combat Search and Rescue. It's not for the faint-hearted, is it? No. It's not for the faint-hearted. And so that put everything in perspective. So while I was making fun of Ron in front of the warriors, most of them Marines and soldiers, when I said CSAR mission in the helicopter, and he flies a CH-53 helicopter, it looks like a whale with blades on top. It's the biggest, baddest helicopter in the world. And so, you think about defining moments. What leads the guy to this? I would say, first off, the defining moment, he was in a family with three brothers and a sister, yes? And that's what propelled him to do things that other people couldn't do. He ended up in a prestigious university, the Air Force Academy, probably one of the best educations you can get. And then he became a pilot. He didn't become one of those pilots with sunglasses and a scarf, all the Reiki stuff of jet pilots. He became a pilot, those ones that don't we, Tom? Yeah. The ones that we love. The guy that comes in after you at nighttime and watch CSAR mission. Yeah. There was no GPS on helicopters back then. You flew by the map. You flew by your eyes. You flew by your eye-hand coordination, the balance. The things that Ron didn't have, Bart, at the end, did he? No. And then one day I'm going to hope I can sit and talk to these three guys and tell them, this is your granddad did. Little Bolden didn't see Ron when he had that eye-hand coordination one time. But that defining moment of the Vickroy family propelled him to the academy and propelled him off to fly the biggest bad helicopter in the world. The ones I'd love to see coming in when I was down there. Didn't you, Tom? That was a lifesaver for many people. And in April of 1975, when the Vietnam War had gone bad, evacuating people, they brought a bunch of babies out, thousands of babies out, orphans out, by fixed wing. It turned really nasty, and then they had to fly in to take thousands out when tens of thousands tried to get out of Vietnam. So those are defining moments. Let me give some perspective to what you're talking about from those of you who are Call of Duty commandos. Because some of you here are Call of Duty commandos. I know you are. You've never been in combat, you've never been in the military, but you play Call of Duty on your little iBox. Or Xbox, I'm sorry. Here's what you need to do, please. Take your Xbox and your Lazy Boy and your cup holder, your Budweiser, or your age-appropriate beverage, and put it on the Pennsylvania Turnpike at nighttime when it's raining. That's what it's like to fly a 53 into a combat zone. Those are defining moments. When I can do that, I can do anything. When I can do that, I can do anything. That was probably what paved his life from then on. Ron comes back, gets out of the Air Force, because nobody wants to stay in the Air Force. You want to stay in the Marine Corps. And so he gets out of the Air Force. He gets his MBA from Carnegie Mellon. Again, a university I couldn't even visit with my background. And then he probably has the defining moment in his life. He marries Donna. And they go up to Florida. But those defining moments of life of the family pulled him back. Ryan home to Venice, Florida is not going to do it. Was it, Don? It brings him back to the defining moments of our family. Graham and all the great people in the family, the Levergood family, and the Vickroy family. Yes? And so he goes into a number of jobs at Crown American, that kind of stuff. But then Ron always said this when he embraced the Warriors. He took it from Robert E. Lee. Duty is the most sublimest word in the world. sublimest word in the world, duty. You can do no more, and you should do no less. So duty, well, I'm back into University of Pittsburgh, Johnstown. I got this morning, even before Donna, I beat you here this morning. And after I gave Donna a hug, I walked to campus. I peeked in the window, Bart, where Uncle Ron's office. It was the only building on campus that's unlocked was the student union. But I peeked in with Ron. I visited Ron several times. And I got a feel for why Ron loved UPJ so much. And why he took that defining moment of an Air Force 53 guy, and he brought back to the students of University of Pittsburgh and Johnstown. And just enriched his life. And then he can leave a legacy with Brent and Bart and these three nippers here. And the rest of their life will be hearing stories about Uncle Ron. That's what life is all about, yes? So then I've already been told not to talk long, so I'll shut up soon. But what I would do when I would go to visit Ron, I'd always get him laughing. One night here, about a month and a half ago, we were sitting at a table. We were able to get him outside for chow that night. And at the table, on his table was the guy who was the state police for 25 years in Somerset Barracks. There was another guy that lived in your neighborhood. I can't remember his name. And then I told Ron, I said, gosh, Ron, you know, General Dunford's the chairman, Joint Chief of Staff. He's a Marine. And I said, he called me and said, we're going to do a mission in Iran. And he said, he wanted to know who we should take over there. And so I said, I called the Army, and the Army wanted to secure a building in Iran. I said, what they did, Ron, here's the answer to the Army. The Army said, I'm going to send a battalion, and we're going to secure the building. The Marines said, we're going to send a squad, and we're going to blow the building up. And then the Air Force sent a lawyer and a contractor. That's all they said. We're going to buy the building and build a golf course. And did he, Diane?
He laughed.
He couldn't even talk at that point. He had this big grin on his face.
Yeah.
And so, when you got this dash, you see, here's the deal. We know that Ron was born in 1948, June 27th, right to right? And he died on the 22nd of December, yes? So on his tombstone, or on his memorial someday, we'll put that date, and a dash in between. Right? We all have a dash. Nobody's going to escape it. And so, how you live your dash is all about those defining moments. Every one of us has defining moments in our life. Don't we, Mark? Another helicopter pilot back here. Another Simplify Odyssey guy back here who helps the warriors. And so we all have these defining moments that give us these good actions or poor actions. And thank God that Ron met Donna, all the energy she got. She had a lot more energy than even Ron. And then it all comes down to the day you die, and somebody will say, okay, are you a giver or was he a taker? In America today, folks, we have way too many takers. And we have far too many givers. And it's all down to one thing. There's one, you know, if I had a quiz here, and I probably asked David, who's a smart guy, how many times has the Constitution been changed? David would stumble all over it. Do you know, David, what the answer is? This is, you Vickroys are all competitive. This is like Jeopardy. You can't answer. Shut up. How many times?
17.
You're wrong. Dennis, how many times? 29. Come on, Dennis, you're wrong.
Amendments.
And Ron would probably win 27, he would say.
Well, plus the original 10.
27 times. It's been changed. But the most important thing about this whole Constitution, from an old guy who's been around the world, like you, Uncle Lee, when I've talked to you about Philippines, I've trained in the Philippines, he fought in the Philippines. We've been around the world, and you see how lucky we are to have what we can do here at this chapel today. It's profound. And it's all, a give or take is all determined by that first sentence in the Constitution, the preamble. There's 8 action verbs in one sentence. 8 action verbs in one sentence, not one passive verb in the whole sentence. Form, establish, ensure, provide, promote, secure, and then we're going to ordain and establish a Constitution. If each of us here, we're here to celebrate Ron. And if the energy leads the inspiration, leads the impact, and leads the legacy, his legacy is strong, then every one of us here should be a giver in society too. Yes? Kids, my grandkids? We've got to be givers. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about coming together, throw out tribalism, and do something for. That's why you walk around this campus. It's kind of neat. They have signs all over the place. Make a difference. What have you done today for somebody? Look at the stickers around the campus. So the key is, if we here form a more perfect union, establish justice, promote general welfare, ensure the domestic tranquility, provide for common defense, and here's a bell ringer, number 6, secure the blessings of liberty. We now sit here today celebrating Ron Vickroy, Bart, Brett, all you Vickroys that stumbled over the question, you failed Jeopardy bad. We are here today because of guys like Ron. Aren't we, Tom? Amen. Tom and his good friend Ron back here. Aren't we? We're here because the guys have had defining moments in the Vickroy family, in the Air Force, maybe at Crown American, maybe at, these awards, you all raise a obituary, he got the Boy Scout Award of the Year or Citizen of the Year, he got Provost, but that's small stuff. That's small stuff compared to being a giver and having people pay tribute to him and then take his legacy for their life. I was privileged, Don, to meet and know and love Ron Vickroy. And I loved the fact I could visit with him, and Diane was over so many times, and she looked irritated me sometimes because she's trying to feed him. Here comes the Jones again. He's gonna try to get him laughing and stuff like that. He'll start choking. And I told Diane one night, damn it, Diane, I know CPR. I'm a Marine. Be quiet. But so I'm gonna celebrate that. But if you're a giver, not a taker, then the 25th chapter of Matthew should really resonate with you. Because you have to be more than a believer. You have to be more than a believer. You've got to be somebody who's doing something for other people. It tells you right there. It says right there. He didn't say just believe me. It says go out and do something for somebody who's disadvantaged. Amen. That's what people are going to make the team. You're either going to be a sheep or a goat. I want to be a sheep. And I'm a guy standing before you folks who's on probation twice as a kid. I got second chance. I could never go on the Air Force Academy. I almost went to Academy, but it wasn't the Air Force Academy. Somebody gave me a chance. And so the key is, let's celebrate the life. Let's not be, we want to maybe cry a tear. But Ron and I told Ron this one time, I don't know if Diamond was there. Hey, Ron, we're in the bonus round. We're in the bonus round. The Bible tells us we got 70 years, a little bit extra, that's just extra, but we're in the bonus, we made the bonus round. And so the key is now, did the legacy that really count? That really count? But tell me you did, Bart. But tell me you did, Brett. It really did. And let's just take a little bit of that, share it with other people, and make daggum certain that when our dash resonated, and our giver or taker is we're plugged on giver or taker. When we're either judged to be a sheep or a goat, that may be something that Ron Vickroy did in his life. Don, Bart, Brett, Vickroy's, Jeopardy Poor Vickroy. That we take some of that with us. Fair enough? God bless you, Ron.
Amen. Let's go. Thank you for those words of encouragement, those words of let's do something. Your legacy. I want to read another few passages of scripture from that. Psalm chapter 40. And it says this. Be pleased, O Lord, to deliver me. O Lord, make haste to help me. Let those who put to shame and disappoint altogether, who seek to snatch away my life, let those be turned back and brought to dishonor, who delight in my hurt. Let those be appalled because of their shame, who says to me, aha, aha. But may all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. May those who love your salvation say continually, "Great is the Lord." As for me, I am poor and I am needy, but the Lord takes thought of me. You are my help and my deliverer. Do not delay. Do not delay, oh my God. Right now I'm going to ask Ronald Vickroy. Mark, come and share with us some things on.
I also am not going to be able to speak off the cuff like that. I've got to stick to the script right now. I'd like to begin with a tribute written to my father by a longtime friend and fellow UPJ professor, Mr. Doug Reed. Doug can't be here today. He's starting his chemo treatments, and our thoughts and prayers are with him. He titled it Ron and I. In Proverbs 27:17, it says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Our daily lives bring so many folks alongside of us. Our encounters are brief for some, others longer. Family a lifetime, and those rare few that become outstandingly significant. Ron has been that rare servant leader to so many others and myself. He had that innate ability to see those struggling and nourish their opportunity, or their potential, even if they didn't see it in themselves. I'm so blessed that Ron gave me the opportunity and honor to join him at UPJ. Many students and myself were taught, coached, mentored, and impacted by Ron's duty to teach. He taught us subject matter that counted in the real world, life skills, management tools, and Christian values. Ron taught me to teach, and he was the best role model ever. The rewards of teaching are unsurpassed and enduring. Ron gave me the gift of a lifetime. Tom just said this, but one of my dad's favorite quotes was by Robert E. Lee. "Duty is the most sublime word in the English language. You should do your duty in all things. You can never do more. You should never wish to do less." Ron did his duty. Ron and I enjoyed going to a few Pirate home openers. I can't tell you if the Buccos won or not, but sharing a couple beers while watching the game is a cherished memory I shall never forget. God bless you, Ron. I can't tell you how thankful we are for all the support, the messages, the stories, and these tributes that we've received over the last few days. This was just one of many tributes that illustrates the kind of person my father was. I'd like to spend just a couple minutes here sharing some of the messages that I received. We heard things like, "I wouldn't have graduated if it wasn't for your dad." When Mr. V spoke, man, he spoke. That voice of his, wow. When he spoke, he somehow subconsciously demanded the respect of the entire audience. I can relate to that one. He taught me that I needed to first make myself the best person I can be. Your dad taught me so much and he believed in me so much, I simply just had to believe in myself. He taught us compassion and appreciation for each other. From the moment I walked into his classroom and every single moment after, I witnessed what integrity in business, and most importantly in life, looked like. Another one that sums him up perfectly for me says, "Your dad had this way of explaining and asking questions that led you to answer your own questions without holding your hand too tightly." About 2 years ago, his former students coordinated and created this book, called it the Mr. V book, and it brought him so much joy. They wrote personalized tributes on pretty much each and every page with pictures, but maybe most impactful for me as I look through this are the dozens of Mr. V quotes. I mean, I don't remember much of my professor's quotes, but obviously they do. Make them need you more than you need them. You can't succeed if you never fail. If you take nothing else from your time here, take this: never stop learning. And when life gets difficult, look up. In another tribute, Mr. Nick Jacobs, a longtime friend and community servant, said, Ron was not only an amazing person, but a brilliant and creative individual. He also was the best of the best as an instructor, a mentor, and a leader. I would also add as a father, a brother, and a grandfather. We've heard hundreds of stories like this, and I think the term servant leader is probably the most appropriate tag for my father. Just recently, I found some unsent emails that he had drafted. And I'd like to share just a handful of snippets with you. On Thursday, February 11th, 2016, so he was, well into this disease. He said, "Laughter is the best medicine." He said, "Jesus is my priority in life." About my mom, he said, "I love her to death. They just don't make them like that anymore."
That's a good thing.
And about Stacy, my wife, he said, "You're very lucky, Bart. You found someone who loves you, and more importantly, loves the Lord." On Friday, November 7th, 2017, just a couple years ago, this was about a 5-hour email that he had written. It started at like 6 o'clock p.m. and it went till the wee hours of the morning. He said, "It's now 12:30 a.m. This disease is for the birds, man. The birds, I tell you. Please tell Colt West and Bo I love them." I can remember all of Colt's life. And the bird in his early years. I've been looking at this sword in my room and all these medals. Please give these medals to them. They always like me to pull them down and show them. I don't care about the medals though, but I know they do. I only share that because that's who my father was. He didn't care about medals. He didn't care about money. He didn't care about titles. He only cared about others. Many of you know and will remember my father for some of the stories I've already shared. He had a lasting impact on your life. He was able to do that through what I would call a brief interaction. Maybe it was a course or two at UPJ. Maybe he was your advisor. Maybe it was a monthly board meeting. Maybe it was around the golf. But for me and his family, we had the opportunity to experience his greatness all the time. How fortunate were we? Hit him straight to heaven, Dad. We love you.
Well done, Bart. Well done. My life was ever impacted. And I'll give you a couple of stories. I woke up this morning and say, what would I wear? So I wore sky blue for the Air Force. There we go, thinking about him. I wore shoes that are made by a local business guy down in Somerset that he would have loved. Because he's risking everything, doing what he loves, and willing to fail. Thinking about Ron and his life that touched mine. The first significant time that I had with him was a golf trip. I went with he and his brother Dennis and his friend Rick Kopko down to Tar Ridge. And I had never played a bunch of games with guys who will take you to the cleaners and not care. And so we went down there, and we were in this little black Honda Civic, and had the whole ride down and back, and we got there, and they said, "How about we play Wolf?" And I'm like, "I have no clue what Wolf is." "Sure, I'll play Wolf." I didn't realize I shouldn't have started. I should have listened a little bit, and they didn't care. They just cleaned my clock. But it was fun. And those are times that I will remember, times that I will cherish. He and I shared a lot of times with golf. I have an ever-ending passion to play golf and to play well, and he was always willing to push me and to say, "Yeah, you can do encouraging someone else, serving someone else in just a little way. I'm thankful because in that way he was a little like my dad. My parents don't live here, and so I didn't have those times to be able to share face to face. And I'm very thankful that I was able to have that with Ron. These last number of months have been difficult and yet filled with incredible joy for me as a pastor, to see as a friend, to experience his hope and where that lies. I want you to know that. He wants you to know that. A week ago Thursday, I went in and spent my last few minutes with Ron, close to Christmas. And I said, "Hey, what's your favorite Christmas song?" And he said, "O come, Emmanuel." It wasn't even a that in his eye. It was just there. It was, this is what it is. And so I pulled up my phone and we listened and sang along the whole time. And that song says, O come, Emmanuel, mighty power to save." A couple of lines, victory through the grave. We sang that song. And we rejoiced. And then we could go on now, and we could sit there and say, joy to the world, as I said this last weekend, because he is experiencing joy evermore. Because of Christ, because of his Savior, because he did fail. And when you do fail, what do? He said, we need to look up. That's what Ron did. His body was failing, and yet I never once heard him doubt his Savior, doubt his God. Never. And now you and I, we need to go back to that song, as I said this weekend, and we need to sing, O come, Emmanuel, cheer us by your coming. Disperse the gloomy clouds and the dark shadows, put them to flight, take them away. Because we're going to rejoice in Emmanuel, because Emmanuel will come. There is hope in who Christ is. 1 Thessalonians 4 tells us this, and I say this because I want us to know this. This is the Word of God, the truth. It says this, but we do not want you to go uninformed, brothers, about those who are asleep, that you may not grieve as others do, who have no hope. For since we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even though through Christ Jesus, God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep. Hope is not in this world. Ron's situation was not going to get any better. Hope is found in the person of Christ. Hope is awaiting. That first verse in that Psalm verse 40, it says this, I waited patiently for the Lord. That word means to hope. I hope for the Lord, for God Almighty. Because of what he's done before. How he's proved himself time and time again. I hope. I actively wait for the Lord. That's what he did. That's why when people would walk in, he walked in, he knew who you were. For me, it get together, we just, no matter how bad it got, we would just talk golf. And I always said, hey, when it gets bad, you can always play golf in your head. You can always go to a place and enjoy that. But that wasn't his hope. Biblical hope is based on a person, the person of Christ. And I'm very thankful that Ron knew that hope. So will we, you and I, actively wait? Actively wait for the salvation of God to come. Do you know that hope? If you understand what Ron went through, you understand it was not easy, and yet he continually hoped in his God and Savior. I mean, seriously, there was not a shadow of a doubt. His situation wasn't going to get it better. The odds weren't going to get any better for him. But he still hoped in his Savior, Jesus Christ. My prayer for all of you is comfort. Comfort in the person of Christ. I lost my father-in-law in September. So I can say I understand what you're going through. And in 2 Corinthians chapter 1, starting in verse 3, it says this: Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and the God of all comfort, who comforts us in our affliction, so that we may be able to comfort those who are in any affliction with the comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God. Comfort is found in the one who makes it so that this life does not matter. So that our hope isn't in this. As you heard from Ron, I want you to take something away from this. I want you to take away hope being in Christ, but I also want you to take away serve other people. I believe he really served other people because he was served by his God. His God gave generously, who then said, give to others as well. You know, I really believe, as Major General said a little bit earlier about that flight, the helicopter that he flew, I'd love to have been on one of those flights with him. I'd love to have been able to see him at work doing what he loved to do. It talks about that he went in during Operation Frequent Wind, and he saved dozens of American lives. But you know what? His saving of lives did not stop then. It did not stop. He looked at students, he looked at people, and he said, I'm going to save them however I can. I'm going to believe in them. I'm going to help them. I'm going to encourage them. I know that he did that with others, but I know he did that with his family as well. It was impartial. And he even did that with me as well. Ron's hope was not in this world. His hope was in his Savior, Jesus Christ. I love it that we just had, celebrated the birth of Jesus, the outflow of the love for this world, come to a baby born that love came from you because you loved him well in the person of Jesus Christ, the hope of the world. Ron's hope. In the midst of really one of the most debilitating things I've ever seen in my entire life, he had hope. And he is experiencing the joy of his salvation. Lord, I pray for each one here that they will search their hearts and say, do I have that hope? Do I have what Ron had? Do I have I experienced that no matter what life throws at me, I will hope in God and God alone? Thank you, Father. Thank you how Ron touched so many lives, gave us an example to be able to live and to love well. I pray that we will examine our lives and allow our hearts to say, yes, I want to know God. I want to live like God. Lord, I pray that you will wrap your arms, your loving arms of care and compassion around this family, around this one here, as we will experience grief. But we have hope because of Christ. Thank you, Father. In your precious Son's name. Well, thank you so much for coming and celebrating the life. We want to encourage you to come down to Emmanuel Baptist Church, which is on Luther Road in Richmond Township, just here a few miles away, for a lunch. We would really encourage you to maybe come and sit around a table, come and celebrate Ron's life. Maybe if you have more stories to be able to share, they would love to be able to hear them. So please come and celebrate his life around a meal down at Emmanuel Baptist Church on Luther Road. Right after this,